Imagine waking up.
Yeah.
It's dark, pre-dawn, May 19th, 1536. You're in the Tower of London, and you hear this sound, steel being sharpened.
That rhythmic scrape cutting through the mist, it's chilling.
And that sound, it's for you. You were
Yep.
the Queen of England. And in just a few hours, that blade, well, it's meant for your neck.
Yeah.
Today on the Deep Dive, we are going deep into the really carefully planned downfall and execution of Anne Boleyn. We want to unpack not just what happened, but the really cold why behind it all. And we're using the fascinating sources we've pulled together for you.
And what jumps out right away is that this wasn't, a sudden rage thing from Henry. Not at all.
Yeah.
This was a political move, a nightmare unfolding over months. The real trigger, King Henry VIII's, obsession with having a male heir.
And his growing interest in Jane Seymour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially critical after Anne miscarried in January 1536. And the terrible irony is, report to what was basically a state-sanctioned hit.
And her own uncle, the Duke of Norfolk, presided. How does that even happen?
Politics. Brutal Tudor court politics. Family ties meant little against the king's will and personal ambition. It was a profound betrayal.
So the evidence was weak.
Very weak. Vague, circumstantial, lots of hearsay. And Anne, as a woman, as a subject, had almost no real way to defend herself effectively. The verdict was decided before they even started.
A foregone conclusion.
Completely. It wasn't about guilt or innocence. It was about confirming the king's decision. A terrifying message to anyone else who might step out of line.
And then, right before the execution, Henry has the marriage itself declared null and void. What was that about?
Oh, the irony is just staggering. Archbishop Cranmer basically dusted off the same arguments Henry used against Catherine of Aragon.
You're kidding.
Nope. Claimed Henry's previous affair with Anne's sister, Mary, made his marriage to Anne incestuous from the start.
So wait, she's condemned for adultery in a marriage that legally never existed. And her daughter Elizabeth is suddenly illegitimate.
Precisely. It stripped Anne of her title, delegitimized her child, and condemned her all at once. Legal gymnastics to fit Henry's needs. Absolutely chilling.
Okay, so, the final act. Henry brings in a swordsman from France, not the usual axe. Pitched as a mercy, what do the sources say about her end?
Well, the swordsman wasn't just mercy, it was also cleaner, quicker, maybe distanced Henry from the axe's brutality. More sophisticated, perhaps.
A performance to the last.
And Anne played her part. Sources describe her as remarkably composed on the scaffold. She gave a speech, affirmed her loyalty to Henry, asked for prayers.
But didn't protest her innocence directly.
No. Very careful words. Then, one stroke. It was over.
Yeah.
Her burial was hurried, unceremonious. An old arrow chest in the Tower Chapel, like they wanted to just erase her.
So Anne Boleyn's execution, it wasn't just killing a queen, it was a raw display of absolute power, wasn't it? Ruthless calculation.
Absolutely. Henry tried to wipe her from the record, but history doesn't forget that easily.
And her daughter Elizabeth, despite being declared illegitimate, she rises, becomes this incredible monarch.
A different legacy entirely. And she certainly remembered her mother.
Looking at the bigger picture then, Anne's story makes you ask, doesn't it? In that world of absolute power, what did justice even mean? Where was the line drawn between that and just political necessity?
That's the haunting question. Her death, the whole attempt to erase her, it wasn't just ending a life. It felt like it killed possibilities, And it cast this long shadow over the English crown.
A shadow about controlling the story, controlling the narrative.
Yeah, something we still grapple with today, how stories are shaped and controlled by those in power.
Definitely something to think about. The legacy of fear, control, and how those echoes from history still reach us.